Hello! We made it! We made it to 100 episodes! Hit it! Yes! It finally happened! I can't believe it! And you're hopefully still listening! Woohoo! All right, 100 episodes. This is A VOs Journey, and my name is Anthony Pica, your crazy host. This podcast is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artist grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to flop on. Today is number 100, and I've got a great episode. Today we are going to be talking about how you can become a full-time voiceover artist. And if you stick around to the very end, I am going to be giving away some pretty cool stuff. All right, let's do it. This is VO's Journey. Number 100, baby! With your host, the incomparable Anthony Pica. All right, I am so excited to be doing this episode, and I first want to thank all of you for listening and subscribing and following and being a part of my journey on this crazy path to full-time. And as I started this journey, I set out to do this whole podcast to document what, just one person would go through with a full-time job and a family and a bunch of responsibilities, starting out from nothing to trying to become a full-time voiceover artist. And I want to thank you all because I really firmly believe that because of your amazing support, I've been able to get to that place. So today, I want to talk about how you can become a full-time voiceover artist. And I think it's going to be probably the best episode yet because I have put together a bunch of, I think, extremely helpful tips for you. And I've actually planned this one out, you guys. This one is planned. So right there off the bat, you've got that going for you. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we start, I have someone special in the studio with me. You're not going to believe it. It is none other than Warren Buffett. That's right. One of the richest people in the world. And he has some business advice for you. Okay, he's not really in the studio, but it sounded cooler that way. But anyways, listen.
The best advice to a small business owner, or for that matter, a large business owner, is never stop thinking about how to delight your customer. Not to satisfy your customer, but to delight your customer. And when you wake up in the morning, start thinking about it. During the day, think about it. At night, think about it, and then dream about it. And no company's ever failed that had millions of delighted customers. And you start with them and you get them one at a time.
All right. Thank you, Warren, for that great advice. And I will have to say to you that I'm going to be going over 3 different areas today that's going to help you become a full-time voiceover artist. But the reason I played that clip from Warren Buffett is because as we go through each of these things, I firmly believe that it is so important that everything that you do in your business, every system you create, every voiceover you do, every move you make is always geared around your customers and delighting them, meaning that we want to leave them with the impression that they are excited to be there. Like, perfect example, I'm going to use Chick-fil-A, and I know people have different opinions about this, but every time I go to Chick-fil-A, now this is my Chick-fil-A in the area. I know some people say different, but my Chick-fil-A and multiple ones that I've been to, I always know that when I go there, I'm going to be delighted by their customer service, by them saying please and thank you. Okay, I always get that when I go to a Chick-fil-A, and most of the time I get smiling faces. I get that no other fast food place. I don't. Any other fast food place I go to, I never get that. Chick-fil-A is the only place that I go to where I get that. And you know what? If I didn't like the food, or the food is just, as good as other food, because I'll be honest, I like other places that their food to me is just as good. Chick-fil-A doesn't have the monopoly on the best food, but they are doing incredible things when it comes to delighting their customers by customer service in the simple form of saying please and thank you. Really, and maybe a smiling face here or there. All right? I mean, it's great. The other day, I was at Chick-fil-A with my son and my daughter, and we were in the drive-thru, and the way we were positioned, there was sun shining in, and the sun shone in my eyes, and I was having trouble seeing. The man, it was a younger gentleman, who was taking my order outside, saw that it was bothering me, and he literally moved over and stepped in front of the sun so that it wouldn't be in my eyes. Now, that's not a big deal, right? But then as we drove on to the window, my son said, man, and my son is 11, by the way, man, that was really cool. That guy just stood in front of the sun so it wouldn't be in your eyes. They're really awesome here at Chick-fil-A. Okay, that young guy doing that one thing, right, made more of an impression than the food or anything else they could have done. And again, it had nothing to do with the food, but it had everything to do with them trying to make me feel good about being there, or me being a part of something more than just fast food. So I'm just saying this because as we go through these things today, I want you to really think about everything you do should be geared around delighting your customer. Okay? All right. Hopefully that has helped you. That should be mind blown right there. Yeah, just like that. And also, by the way, I'm trying out some new sound effects, and because I'm a goofball, I really am, and I think that the sound effects, they make me happy. Hopefully, they make you happy too. They're not too annoying. All right, so let's get into this. I'm excited, and by the way, I do want to ask for your patience today and your attention, because I'm definitely going to put a little more oomph into this episode, because, this is 100, and I really want to give you some things that are going to hopefully draw a map to your full-time career as a voiceover artist. So there are going to be 3 parts to our talk today, all right? And the first part we're going to go over is business advice. And I've got sections within each of these 3 parts, and I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to list out some things that I think you can use to really get yourself set up. So the first part we're going to talk about is the business part, and this is so important because there is a difference between people who actually want to be full-time and people who are actually full-time. Because as a full-time business owner, because that's what we are, there are really specific things that you have to do as a business in order to get yourself set up to be successful. The first thing that you really have got to do is you've got to get your business entity set up. Whether you are going to be a sole proprietor or an LLC, you have to get that taken care of. If you're a sole proprietor, you need to get that taken care of with your local city government. You can go to the treasurer's office, ask them what you need to do, but you need to get that name settled with the city, and it's usually a DBA, doing business as. Once you get that license or that name, with the city, and it's licensed to do business as, then you can go to the next part, which is getting your business bank account. This is really important. We don't want our personal finances mixed up with your business finances, because as we go about doing taxes, which is the next thing on the docket here, you have to separate them so that you can do the taxes of the business and then you can do your personal taxes. If you do not separate them, it becomes very difficult to know what the expenses are of the business, what the expenses are of your personal stuff, what your income is of the business, and any other income that you might generate. But it's really important to separate them, especially for tax purposes and for your own financial benefit of you being able to go through, see what is happening, be able to show what is happening in your business, et cetera, et cetera. And most important, again, when the tax man comes around, you're not going to be, walking around with this account that looks like every single thing you have is not legitimate because it is going through your personal, like for example, your business account. You're constantly going out to eat with your business funds and you're buying groceries, and none of that has to do with your business. So you can see here where it's super important that you separate them because you can get in a lot of trouble. So let's move on to taxes. It's really, really important, as most of all this stuff I'm talking about is here, that you go see a tax advisor, because as you start making more money, you are going to have to pay specific taxes for them, right? But here's the thing, you know that. But the crazy thing is that as the more money you make as a business owner, you are now responsible for paying different taxes than you were as an employee. Because as an employee, your employer paid specific taxes that you didn't have to pay, right? Perfect example is unemployment. A lot of times all the times they split the unemployment costs. As a business owner, you have to pay all of that. You have to pay city and state and all kinds of different taxes. Plus you have to pay at different times. For example, you can choose to not pay taxes all year and pay on April 15th like everybody else, but you have the option, and it is recommended that you pay taxes quarterly, so that when it comes time for you to actually pay your taxes, you are not paying some humongous bill on April 15th, but you're paid off, or just like as an employee, every paycheck you get, taxes are taken out. Well, it's the same sort of thing, but here's the call. You might be in a better place to be a sole proprietor, or you might be in a place to be an LLC, all right, or a corporation. But the reality is most of the time, being a corporation at our level is probably not the best thing. An LLC stands for limited liability company, however, or limited liability corporation. However, you can be a single member or a sole proprietor within that. And then the LLC really just stands for the limited liability, meaning that if someone was to come after you as a business and sue you, let's say, for example, they're suing you for, they think that you've done something wrong to them and their business through what you've been doing, then they can only sue you for your business assets. Okay. Like maybe your microphone and your speakers or something like that. They can't sue you for like your house and all your personal belongings. Again, this is why you separate your stuff. And guys, listen, this is so important. This is why you have to do this business stuff, because we are in business and we are going to be dealing with lots of people, and sometimes people aren't on the up and up. So they are going to take advantage of that, and we have to take advantage of all the things out there that are for us. Okay? All right, great. So you've got all of that. The next thing, that's the super important thing. I've said that a bunch of times, haven't I? Sorry about that.
You're killing me.
The next thing is budget. And this part is something that is going to take you some time to get used to, especially if you don't budget your own personal finances. But if you do budget your own personal finances, it's very similar. The key, though, here is to understand that as a business, starting out especially, you are going to have to project what you are going to make. So you might not know, and the likelihood is you don't know because you haven't been doing this for years and years and have a baseline. So you're going to have to project what you think you're going to make. In fact, the city that you get your license from as a DBA, et cetera, they're going to ask you how much your business is going to make. And you're going to have to tell them. And you don't know, and they understand that, but you pay for your license and then you pay taxes. Everything is based around your projections. And as you pay taxes throughout the year, again, it's based on your projections. And then at the end of the year, when you finally figure out what you actually made, then you end up either paying more taxes or getting money back. But again, this is why it's so important to do all of this. But your budget should encompass not just what you think you're going to make, but what you're going to spend on marketing, what you're going to spend on your equipment, what you're going to spend on going to events, what you are going to spend on anything that revolves around your business. your space, anything to do with it, you need to have that in your budget, and you need to have a plan for what that money is going to be every single month. So now that we have that business advice, that part one under our belt, those things are essential. And of course, there are many steps within those things, but those things are essential to making sure your business is online. Great. Let's move on to the second part. And this is called, or I'm calling it, streams of income. I firmly believe that this part of this podcast could be one of the most important parts of any of the podcasts I've ever done, because I firmly believe that here is the secret to people from doing this as a side hustle to becoming a full-time voiceover artist. And it's called, again, streams of income. The reason I called it streams of income is because if you take a look at other voiceover artists, me included, you will see that they are making multiple streams of income, not just from voiceover. They are making income from something over here. They're making income from something over there. And they're making income from voiceover. I believe that you need at least 3 different streams of income. So let's dive into that. Voiceover clearly would be your first stream of income. Let's say that you want to make $3,000 a month. And if you make $3,000 a month, that is enough to replace what you currently make, and you'll be happy with that, and that could lead you into full time. So we're making $3,000 a month, or that's what we want to make. And Anthony says, all right, you need 3 streams of income. If we take 3,000, divide that by 3, then we know $1,000 needs to come from voiceover. Can there be more? Absolutely. There can be way more that comes from voiceover, but we're just for the sake of this example, we're going to do 1,000 from voiceover. Now we need 2 other streams of income. So let's come up with some. Let's say that you really love to do post-production things, like you've always loved to add effects and sound, and you like to edit and help people master their stuff and sound better. So over the time you have worked on it and you're actually pretty good at it. So you decided that you're also going to launch a separate part of your business where you help people edit, master, add sound effects, add music to their audio. So now that becomes a different stream of income. All right. So after all that work that you've done here, you are now making $1,000 from your post-production or your post-production part of your business. So we have $1,000 from voiceover. We have $1,000 from your post-production business. Now you need at least one more stream of income. So it can be all kinds of things. Let's say, for example, and I see someone in the group and they were talking about this with me. Let's say, for example, you have always been really good and had a passion for writing scripts or writing really fun words or fun little commercials or 30-second spots, or anything. You just love to write copy. That's always been a passion of yours. So you begin to add onto your business a copywriting section where you help people write copy for their commercials, you could even move into blog posts. You help people write for blog posts. You help people write for their website. You help people write press releases. You help people write advertising words. You help people write copy because it's something that you've always loved and you're pretty good at it. So now you've launched that and you worked on getting that out there. So now you have another $1,000 coming in from your copywriting business. So now you have 3 different streams of income coming in. I do want to point out something to you, and you might have realized this by now. Each one of those in themselves could be a separate business. And this is why it's very important for you to talk to your tax advisor, because a lot of times those might be taxed differently. And I'll be honest with you, voiceover, we kind of get taxed more than most because we fall under the creator and not the people who like studios, they take what we make and then they add on to it. So they're not necessarily considered creators, and they get tax breaks for that. However, we are considered actors, actresses, so we actually we don't get that tax break. But as a copywriter and different things, there's different taxes that revolve around that. But you are still underneath the entity of your business, and you are able to bring in other streams of income. For perfect example, for me, I have my voiceover business. I also have my post-production business. I also do demos, which I love doing demos and helping. I also do coaching. I also try to, actually, that's about it. Those 4 areas is what I'm working on now. I see other potential for a lot of other things, but that's the 4 streams of income, and I make money from all of those. Some make more than others. Clearly, right now, my voiceover business by far makes the most, by really far. But the thing is, though, is that this is what's important. Sustainability is everything in what we are doing as full-time people, right? We want to be able to sustain our business. So to do that, you really have to start thinking about, what if this month voiceover dries up? Just this month, or let's say this month I make half of what I usually make as a voiceover artist. It's cyclical. We all know that. When budgets come and go, closer to tax time, the end of summer, Christmas, at January, when companies have spent their wad and all this stuff, we are going to make less money. And then we're going to make more money in other times. How do you pad that income and not be eating ramen noodles and SpaghettiOs during those months, where other months you're eating steak and shrimp and lobster? It's to add different streams of income. Oh, I didn't add in that I also get royalties. That's another stream of income from audiobooks. I do consider that a part of voiceover, but at the same time, royalties can come from anything. For example, maybe you've always wanted to write a book, and you have an idea for a 3-part series, and each of these is just 100 pages long, and you've always wanted to write this book. So you write the book and you put it under there. That goes under your business. That becomes a stream of income. Not only do you write the book and you put it on Amazon, then you narrate your book. So now you're getting the full 40% of the audiobook sales, plus all of the sales that you're getting from your Kindle sales if you're going through Amazon. Okay, so that is, again, another stream of income. And it doesn't have to be all based around voiceover. It can be based on a lot of things. So don't fret about just doing voiceover stuff. Get in your mind that you need to add streams of income in order to grow your business. The more streams of income you have, the faster you're going to become full-time and the more secure you are going to be. Got it? Great.
You have now completed this exercise.
Not quite yet, because we are going to go into the third part of today's podcast, and that is none other than marketing.
Attention of human beings is the asset.
Thank you, Gary Vaynerchuk, in that wonderful chipmunky type of voice. But he is absolutely right. As we talk about marketing, attention is everything. Getting the attention of the people that you are trying to target is how you are going to get more business. And this is the challenge, right? Because everything that we do, we are competing against the millions upon millions and billions of other ads that are constantly running, of all of the noise that is out there. So getting the attention of the people that are the ones that we want to get the attention from, that is our challenge, and that should be what is on your mind when it comes to the marketing part of your business. How can you get attention? How can you tailor what you are doing to get real attention? So there are, of course, a million different things that we could talk about here, and there's a million different ways. But the key for this whole thing to start this part off is that no matter what we come up with here, your goal is to get attention. And when I talk about attention, I'm not just talking about someone's eyes scan over what you're doing. That you get someone to stop, seriously look at you, what you're offering, what is happening. That is the key. So in order to do that in our world today, there are a couple different things, and I'm going to give you some strategies that I think you can use. And these strategies I have used, and they work, they're successful. Some are more successful than others. And honestly speaking, you are going to have to work out which ones are the best for you.
At this time, I'm going to ask you to fasten your seatbelts.
Because we are going to go into strategy number 1. So strategy number 1 is going to be, and yes, it's going to be the cold call. Now, you might be like, oh, Anthony, man, what? Oh, not the cold call. Why? God, why? But you know what? Honestly, everybody, you have got to get past that worry, pick up your phone, and call people. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I firmly believe, and I've done this, and I've done this in multiple places, not only for my business here, but also for other businesses. I was in the banking business for a short period of time where I did a lot. I was in sales there, so I did a lot of selling. And, the cold call is the best way to really get someone speaking to someone immediately. And if you are calling the right people, like, for example, video production houses, companies that generally look for voiceover artists, they're not going to be upset with you. They're not going to think it's weird. They're not going to be angry. They are going to respond if they need voiceover artists or not. And you can simply do an easy strategy. This comes from Bill DeWeese or many other people. And, Bill DeWeese did a lot of work, prior to being a voiceover artist as a salesperson. But basically, you pick up the phone, you call a business, you say, hey, my name is Anthony Pica. I'm a voiceover artist, and I was wondering if I could speak to someone who, actually, no, I'm afraid. Say, hi, my name is Anthony Pica. I live in Williamsburg, Virginia, and I was wondering if I could speak to someone who deals with voiceover artists or someone in your business who works with the voice talent. Okay, you could simply say that. That person on the phone is going to say, oh, yeah, well, that would be Jeff. Let me connect you. And they connect you to Jeff. And whether you get to Jeff or not, or you get to his voicemail or whatever, that's the next phase. Or they're going to say, you know what? No, we actually don't need any voiceover artists right now, et cetera, or we don't use voiceover artists, or yeah, sure, my boss does that, but he's not here or she's not here right now. And then you're going to say, no, that's totally fine. Do you mind if I send an email? Or let's say you do get a hold of Jeff and like, yeah, sure, Jeff handles that. Let me connect you. Great. Jeff says, hi. He picks up, hi, this is Jeff. You say, hey, Jeff, my name is Anthony. I'm a voiceover talent. And, I was wondering if it would be cool if I sent you an email with a link to my demo, right? Well, I mean, bam, there you go. Jeff's going to be like, yeah, sure, why not? Or, you know what, we're not doing that. We're not hiring right now, which is fine. But most likely, you're not, see, this is the thing, you're not asking for business. You're just asking if you can get that email to him. And you've done a couple things here. One, you've gotten Jeff to say yes to you a couple of times, okay? Because honestly, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, yeah, sure, send me an email. Because that is non-obtrusive. It's not, hire me right now, dagnabbit. It's none of that. It's simply asking if they're okay with you getting their email address. And there you go, right there. That's a big thing too. You're getting their email address and you're getting the email address of the person you really want to get the email address of. That is the attention that we were talking about.
Attention of human beings is the asset.
So now that you have that, you can simply email that person your demo. Now that you have their email address also, you can then put them on your email list, which is a part of this. You need to have an email list that you're sending out every 2 to 3 weeks, a friendly reminder. Hey, this is Anthony. Just checking in. If you need anything, let me know. I just got done doing a blah, 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 blah. Have a good day. Bye. You are checking in not for the purpose of bothering them, but for the purpose of reminding them that you are still there. Because remember, we are not the center of their universe. The only person we are the center of the universe for is ourselves. So you have to remember that, meaning that you have got to keep fresh on people's minds. But cold calling, you guys, is so important. And so many of us try to shy away with it, or we come up with 15 other strategies so that we don't have to do it. But the reality is it's so great. And then, again, it's great too because we are calling places that are going to be using our service anyways. And if you have a script, something to read, no one is going to be angry with you. I have never called anyone and they've been so angry with me. Now, you might think, well, I've cursed out a couple telemarketers, Anthony. What the? And they might come after me. No, they're not going to, okay? They're not going to do that. And the reason is because these are businesses. They're not individuals. We're not calling them at their house. We are calling them at their business. So their job is to be polite to us anyways. So anyways, I wanted you to get that in your mind, that cold calling is something that you need to get familiar with. And here's the thing. More and more people are not doing it, which means that is an opportunity for you to do it. Great. So that was strategy number 1. Strategy number 2. Let's dive into the elephant in the room. Yeah, I know that was cheesy, but I had to put it in there. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is always social media. Because I think at this point, we all realize how important social media is, but most of us are still like, I have no clue, Anthony, how in the world I'm supposed to get any business on social media. Nobody wants to get business on social media. So here's the thing. As we talked about, attention is the asset. Everybody's attention is on social media. But the likelihood is that you've been doing it all wrong, meaning that you've been going on social media with the idea that it is all about your business and not about the social aspect of the customers that you are there. So here's the thing, which actually I love Twitter, and I'll tell you why. Because businesses are going to Twitter and they're doing it all wrong. They're doing nothing but spouting out their business stuff. But that is a wonderful opportunity for you, because you can then target those businesses, all right, by just reaching out and saying, hey, I saw what you guys are doing. It looks pretty cool. Build a relationship with them. Don't sell them on the first time you talk to them. Don't sell them on the second time. Don't sell them on the third time. Offer them some sort of offer them some sort of value. Like, I really like that. I just saw what you were doing, and I bet if you put this tag in there, you'd probably get more followers, or you probably get more eyes on it. I saw this over here. I bet if you posted it in this channel, you probably do really well. I saw these people over here doing this. This worked for them. Add value 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Then, as Gary V likes to do, throw the right punch. Say, hey, I'm a voiceover artist, and I bet if we do a voiceover for this, it could really help you. Here's my idea, and I've actually put together just a short, brief voiceover for you to listen to. Bam, send it to them. You can do this all day long. So I really wanted to put in like an all night long, but I was having trouble finding that. So I'm going to just keep going. You're probably like, enough of the sound effects, for the love of God. Anyways. So we've talked about getting the social media under control and using it as a method of getting attention. Stop worrying about you simply making random posts that mean nothing to nobody. Start thinking about the amazing opportunity it is to find businesses who are trying to market themselves. Because remember, you are a marketer. You are not a voiceover artist. You use your voice to help people market. You are a marketer. So important. Mind blown. Don't forget this. So many people are forgetting that they are marketers. They are media companies. We are not just voiceover artists. If you get out of that mindset, doing all of these things like social media will be so much easier for you. Because then you won't be stuck in this, well, I don't have anything to post because somehow I have to post something about voiceover. But I don't even really know that much about voiceover. So what am I going to say? Do I need to go research about how the, cardioid microphone and the, how a supercardioid, what does it all mean? You don't need any of that stuff. You need to start focusing on clients, not on what you are doing, but what clients are doing and how you can help them. And a lot of times that help doesn't revolve around you doing a voiceover for them. This is a long-term game, because here's the thing. The reason why this is long-term and the reason why you want it to be long-term is because once you go full-time, or even before you go full-time, but you don't want to go full-time and then the next day you're like, crap, I don't have any business. That's not what you want. You want to go full-time and be like, I've got business for the next 30, 40, 50 years because I've continued to build these long-term relationships. You nailed it. That way you will never go hungry in your business. Great. So that's number 2. Now we're going to talk about number 3. And I think this is where I want you to come up with a creative way to market what you do. I'm going to give you an example, and I'm really proud of him, and we kind of worked on this together, and he's taken it and really gone with it. But I have a friend, a fellow voiceover artist. He's a part of the mastermind group, and we were talking the other day about things that he could do, and he mentioned that, he really does like to do book trailers. And, I talked to him about the fact that, listen, there are so many authors out there who don't have book trailers or don't even know the possibility of them and how to help sell their books. Guys, this is so big because we've got to get out of the mindset that there's only one way to make money. In audiobooks, for example, there is many ways that you can make money as a voiceover artist without having to actually narrate the audiobook. And one of those ways is doing audiobook promos or videos promoting the audiobook or the book in general. So, because think of it this way, authors, they're trying to sell their stuff. So they have a book now, they've got to sell it. Selling your book, because just because you put it on Amazon, right, doesn't mean it's going to sell. Same as an audiobook. You have to find a way to sell it. If you can sell your stuff, you can make anything worth it. Here's the key. We talked and I had an idea, I was like, why don't you just start creating these promo videos for books? Be a couple seconds long, or they can be like 10, 15, 30 seconds long. You can even read the back of the books and send them to the authors and things like that. And, he started doing that and he's doing a great job. I worked with someone else who wanted to do podcast intros and podcast, outros, people who wanted to do YouTube intros and outros, people who wanted to do, quick videos. Think about, here's another thing. Think about all of the businesses who are just trying to get people's attention online who need some sort of help. There are so many sites, for example, this is another great idea. There are so many sites out there who offer tons of stock video footage for a monthly fee that's very affordable. Take the video footage, put a short video together with you doing a voiceover promoting whatever business you're trying to help, and send it to them. Post it on your Twitter, tag them, and tell them you love the business so much you wanted to put this together for them. I knew a guy a while ago who did this very thing for a company. It's a shaving company. It was all over Instagram. And this was about a year ago or so. And he really loved this shaving company, but he didn't like their promotions or whatever. So he took their footage, but he put it together in a certain way. He spliced it, put the video together, and then did a voiceover. And then he posted it everywhere. And that company found it, loved it so much, they hired him to be their spokesperson for their entire company based off of what he did. Now, they put new stuff together, but they hired him to be their voiceover artist because of what he did for them, just out of the kindness of his heart and trying to help them out. There is so much power in this stuff, you guys. That is the power of social media because we have their attention. And all you got to do is tag them, put a little @ symbol and write their name in there. And it will show up in their stream and they will be able to see it. I want you to come up with a creative way that you can market yourself by putting things together for other businesses. Now, you might say, okay, well, that means I got to learn how to do this and I got to learn how to do that. Darn right you do. Just do it. Don't let the learning curve stop you from making it in this business. And what you will find out, and this is the crazy thing, what you will find out is when you go down these roads, you will open a whole new world for you that can make not only make you money, but turn into a whole nother business that makes you tons of money. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are so many possibilities. And the reason I love voiceover so much is because we have the possibility to do it all. All right. I hope that this podcast has been incredibly helpful with you trying to put together a plan to become a full-time voiceover artist. These 3 parts are what I believe are the essential elements that you need to grow your business to that place. You have the business part where you've got to get your entity, your bank account, your tax advice, your budget. All of that stuff has to be integral to your mindset in getting business to where it needs to be for you to become full-time. Number 2, you want at least 3 different streams of income. So vital to making sure that if one thing goes down, you've got the other 2 to prop you up. And then number 3, your marketing. Attention is the asset. You have to get attention. You've got your cold calling. You've got the strategies we just talked about in social media. And then you've got the third strategy where you are going to come up with a creative way to create marketing material for small businesses, authors, freelancers. That is, in my humble opinion, those are probably the 3 most powerful ways right now as a voiceover artist and a voiceover business can utilize to grow their business. You've got to stick with it and make this work. So we have come to that time in the podcast where we are going to talk about giveaways that we are going to be doing for episode number 100. Now, I have a couple things, and I'm really excited about all of them, but I want to first off tell you what you have to do in order to get them. So what I would like you to do is you've listened to the entire episode. So right there, you've got it in the bag. But the second part is I want you to go to iTunes and I want you to subscribe to this podcast and I want you to write a review. I'm not going to tell you what type of review to write, but I want you to write a review, subscribe to the podcast. What I will do is all the reviews that are taken from this date over the next 3 days, I will take those reviews from those people. By the way, make sure that you put your name in the review. Like if you have some funky iTunes name and I can't figure out who it is, then that's not going to help. So make sure you put your name, like maybe Sincerely Brett, or this was written by Tom, or just put your name in there. Or you just put, Sally at the bottom. But anyways, put your name in there, write a review, subscribe, and I will take those people and I will put you into a hat and I will pull you out at random and you will get one of these prizes. So the first one that I am doing, and I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I am going to give away a brand new CAD Audio E100S large diaphragm supercardioid condenser microphone.
Holy
That's
crap!
right, I said it. I am going to give a person the CAD E100S. These go for a little over $400 on Amazon.
Wait, what?
And I am going to buy this and I'm going to send it to you brand new. Okay? So that is the first thing that I'm giving away. The second thing that I'm going to give away is I'm going to give away one. Now, not a lot of people know about this, but I have, so far I have about 3 or 4 students where I do a year-long training with them where I meet once a week privately, one-on-one, and we work on their business. Okay. And this is something that is really unique because I really believe that one-on-one work, I've always liked to do that and help where I can be that person who can really dive in and help grow a business. So I have this and I don't publicize it a lot because I choose very carefully who I work with, but I'm going to give away one of these free 1-year memberships So that is like 52 hour-long sessions with me over the year. Okay? 52 hour-long sessions with me over the year. We meet once a week and we talk about your business, how to grow it, techniques, anything about the tech part of your business, about marketing, about all the things we just talked about. We go over all of it, and I am your personal coach in helping you grow your business so that the goal is in 1 year, you can be at that full-time place. I'm going to be giving, one of those away, and I'm really excited about it. And the last thing I'm giving away, I'm giving away a lot, but the last thing I'm giving away is I'm going to give away an open slot that I have available in the mastermind group. And I will be giving that away as 3 months access to the mastermind group and all of the replays and the hours upon hours and hours of content that is available in there. I will be giving away one spot for 3 months in the mastermind group. Okay? And then after the 3 months, if you want to continue in the group, you can, go ahead and pay the charge or whatever, the monthly fee, but you will get 3 months for free. Okay? So this is crazy, right? I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to be giving away the CAD E100S large diaphragm super cardioid condenser microphone. I am going to be giving away a year. Honestly, this is the one right here that's like this is the stuff. I'm going to be giving away, one person will get a year's worth of private coaching from me once a week, one-on-one. This is part of my elite coaching course. I only have 3 to 4 students, and I take this very seriously because the goal is to help these students be full-time by the end of that year. And you have access to me, and you get my phone number, and my, we really become friends. That's what I believe. So I am super excited about giving that away. And then also one person will get a free 3 months to the mastermind group. Okay? All right. So again, what you need to do is you need to go to iTunes. You need to follow this podcast or like it or subscribe to, I think it's subscribe. Then you need to leave a review. Leave a review of the podcast. Okay? And then if you do that, I will, and by the way, put your name in there. Heaven forbid you don't put your name in there, because if I can't figure who it is, you don't get it. Put your name in there. I will take those names, put them in a hat. I will draw them randomly, and I will let the winners know on A VOs Journey Facebook page. So if you're not a part of the Facebook page, you need to join the Facebook page. Okay? And you can do that by just going to A VOs Journey on Facebook, A VOs '(S) Journey on Facebook. I know the apostrophe S. I keep putting that in. Makes a difference. But if you can't find it, you know what I mean, then you'll be able to find the page. But it's A VOs Journey. You have to be in the Facebook group in order to get this prize or get these prizes. Okay. Woo. I cannot believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it. And I'm so excited and I'm so blessed. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for these 100 episodes and all of your support and love and just allowing me to do what I do. So thank you guys so much. I will talk to you soon. Happy hunting. Let's do it. Yes, we did it. 100, baby. Thank you all. And good night.